Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Welcome to our non-technical introduction to bargaining theory. In order to explain bargaining theory, we will show you a problem that we're all too familiar with. The problematic housemate. Follow me.
Carlotta!
What?
It looks like a bomb went off in here.
Good morning to you too.
Oh, Carlotta, I've told you a million times before. Don't mind you having parties, but this is too much. There's beer on the floor. There's a naked guy in the bathroom. Please tell me that's mayonnaise on the wall. This is so unfair, Carlotta.
I'm not gonna stop having after parties. We're young. Live a little, have some fun.
I'm not saying not to have parties at all, but you're having more than 2 a week. I would say a maximum of 6 in 1 month.
Here's the situation. 3 flatmates from Warwick University living in Leamington Spa. It's second year, and they already chose their house for third year and paid the deposit. 2 guys, Bernie and Andrew, 1 girl, Carlotta. Tensions are building up because Carlotta has revealed her obsession for after parties. And here lies our problem. Bernie cannot sleep. Therefore, he wants her to reduce the amount of after parties per month. So what are we gonna do?
Let's think about this again. Bernie either wants to move out or persuade Carlotta to have less parties. Bernie decides that he wants a maximum of 6 after parties each month, whilst Carlotta wants a minimum of 4 parties per month. But neither of them knows each other's bottom line. This is an example of a non-cooperative game, where people bargain until they reach an equilibrium where unilateral defection is not profitable. We will analyze the different characteristics of this situation, including asymmetric information, inside and outside options, and critically assess possible outcomes.
Carlotta. Carlotta, I love you. Carlotta.
Oh, Bernie's so annoying.
What happened?
He wants me to stop doing the after parties or like reduce them to 6 a month. But
Sucks.
Here, we have a case of asymmetric information. Bernie does not know that his friend Andrew is actually in love with Carlotta, giving her power and influence resulting from information asymmetry that favors her in this situation. It's noteworthy that Andrew loves partying too. This knowledge is obtained by Carlotta but not Bernie, further creating an asymmetric information disparity amongst the 2 parties involved. Curse of knowledge may also be assumed on Carlotta's part, as she gives no consideration to Bernie possibly knowing of her relationship with Andrew, or Andrew's love for partying.
Later that evening.
Hey, bro. What's up, bro?
Yeah, I just want to see how it's hanging, bro.
I'm not doing very well at the moment, bro. I'm arguing with my flatmates a lot, bro.
Oh man, that sucks, bro. Well, I got a girlfriend and we got 2 rooms, so if you want to stay with us, maybe you'll have your own room. That'd be cool, bro.
Damn, bro, I'll consider it. Thanks for the offer.
Reminds me, bro.
With this call, Bernie now has an attractive outside option. The possibility of moving in with another friend and his girlfriend gives him his best possible alternative to any negotiated agreement, strengthening his bargaining position. The only thing holding him back really is the fact that he already paid a deposit, and he would lose that one. Since he's already on student loans, that's a tough decision.
Let's have a look at his options then. The inside options. Come to an agreement with Carlotta, whereby he continues to stay in the apartment. Positive. Allows him to not lose his deposit of £2,000 and keep his friends. On the negative side, he has to keep dealing with the after parties. Now let's have a look at his outside options. He moves into his friend's apartment, in which there's a spare bedroom available. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, currently occupied by a couple. The negative in the situation is that he loses deposit and friends. The positive outcome? No more after parties.
Carlotta has her own set of options. Her inside options first. Either she accepts the deal, knowing that Andrew is on her side, but the negatives here are less after parties. The positives, however, is that it's less complicated and she doesn't lose a friend. Her other inside option is just to lie and still have these after parties, but this creates a lot of conflict. On the other hand, her outside option is to find a new flatmate, but this is really hard at this time of the year.
Oh my god, Andrew, come here. Have a look at this.
Oh.
I posted Bernie's room on Facebook. This is the only person who's gotten back to me. He's so creepy. Look what he's saying. And look at his photo. We can't have this creep living with us.
I'm Peppa Pig. This is my little brother.
Wink, wink.
This is Mommy.
Bernie, I think we should talk.
What do you want?
Like, I'm willing to reduce the amount of after parties, but how about 8 per month? That's a 20% decrease.
Carlotta, 8 parties a month is way too much. My friends actually offered me a place where they only host 2 parties every month. So now, my counter offer is 4 parties maximum.
What? 4 parties a month? Are you kidding?
We have just witnessed Carlotta and Bernie bargaining in order to come to an agreement for how many after parties they will be having. We will now look at the different possible bargaining outcomes that could arise from this situation. So we can see that Carlotta wants a minimum of 4 after parties, whilst Bernie wants a maximum of 6. Thus, the zone of possible agreements includes either 4, 5 or 6 after parties. The table above shows the corresponding payoffs for each player for the different number of after parties. We can disregard the payoffs for the non-highlighted options as they do not lie within our zone of possible agreements.
Again, here we can see the Pareto frontier showing each of the players' payoffs for each potential outcome. The Pareto optimal solution is formed at 5 after parties, which is a mutually beneficial outcome. In this situation, neither player could be made better off without making the other worse off. So currently, Carlotta is having 8 after parties. A decrease to 5 after parties means that her utility will decrease from 8 to 5, whilst Bernie's utility will increase from 2 to 5. It's worth noting here that the outcomes are not independent. If Carlotta gets 4 after parties, Bernie will also get 4. The only thing that differs between the two of them is the utility they derive from the number of after parties. This is where bargaining is different from standard games.
Rationally speaking, the Nash bargaining solution is formed at 5 after parties, as previously shown. However, there are other factors that need to be taken into consideration and that may lead to a different outcome, either 4 or 6 after parties or no outcome at all. One factor that may lead to a non-Pareto optimal outcome is if either player has greater bargaining power. This could be due to one player having greater outside options and asymmetric information. Earlier, we saw that Bernie has a strong outside option, considering his friend has a spare room. This may, in return, increase his bargaining power over Carlotta. A factor increasing Carlotta's bargaining power is that she knows Andrew is in love with her and would take her side in an argument with Bernie. Emotion and impatience are 2 other factors that could lead to a non-optimal outcome. If one player portrays a larger degree of impatience, this would adversely increase the bargaining power of the other player. Carlotta is under a lot of time pressure and stress because her outside option is very weak, given that no one showed any interest to her post seeking a new flatmate. This may cause her to be impatient, which would in return increase Bernie's bargaining power. A third possibility is the risk of a breakdown. Negotiations could break down randomly for one reason or another. A potential cause for breakdown is that Bernie and Carlotta may get fed up as the negotiations draw out, and thus walk away from the negotiating table. The exact time at which they walk away from the table is random. A breakdown could also arise from intervention by a third party. This would lead to the disappearance of the gains from cooperation between Bernie and Carlotta. For example, the university may receive a noise complaint from another neighbour, who then threaten disciplinary action if they continue to host any after parties.